I have no idea if I'll be able to do it. There's plenty of people.
Yeah, let's talk about that. A few episodes ago, you came out of somewhere with this whole, I don't know if this is what I'm meant to do, da 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 da,
Hmm.
this and that. I should go study to do something else, da 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 da
Which I
da.
still am, by the way.
And I was sitting there like, man, this nigga needs to shut up. I was like,
What do you mean?
because why not keep pursuing this, man?
Here's why, and
Wholeheartedly.
this is a great conversation I want to have with you, because you also have the same passion as I do, and I think
Yeah.
similarly, there's no blueprint to being successful at what we do, right?
Hmm.
So you are further along in your journey than I am, even because you actually can make money from your passions. I have yet to cross that bridge, right? This
Yeah.
stuff costs me
Yeah.
money. I'm not making any money from it yet. And
Yeah.
so the reason why, just for background, for those of you listening, Miguel was talking about on my podcast before, like a couple of weeks ago, I came out and said that I'm going to make a shift in my life to study to become a radiology technician. This is a fancy word of saying the guys at the hospitals that do your X-rays and MRIs and stuff.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I decided to make that shift because I'm 27 and I need to put myself on a career path where there's an actual path that I could walk with a reasonable guarantee of kind of something that I can do to earn money. Because this thing, I might not be chosen by destiny to be the ones that to make it. Now, it sounds like a defeatist attitude, but I don't think that it is. Like
No,
one of
you're like the movie Soul, which, have you seen it yet?
I haven't seen it. I've saw clips from it. I saw the clip where he was making fun of the Knicks.
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah.
That went out of pocket. Huh?
You know when they,
Everyone's.
because my father's a Knicks fan, so it made me laugh so hard. Uh, but for me, I don't know. I feel like we see a disproportionate number of people who've made it, obviously because they've made it, and so we see them. What we don't see are the thousands, sometimes millions of people who didn't make it. Some of them more talented than the people who
Then
made it. Some of them
absolutely.
who worked harder than the people who made it. And so one of the things we don't like to admit, there is an element of luck that comes into play with dreams like mine and with dreams like yours.
Absolutely.
All I'm saying is I am coming to a semi-realization that maybe I am not one of the ones that will be chosen by destiny. At first, it hurt to come to that realization, but it was also kind of a freeing thing because it's just an honest question of, okay, how long am I going to push at this thing before it brings dividends when I'm up against the clock? I'll be 28 this year in October. And then and here's the thing about growing older for the young kids watching or listening. Each year that goes by, it seems like it takes less time to get to the next year. That's the wildest part about growing. You blink and you 30, then you blink and you 40. And so
Yeah.
I came out saying I'm going to make this shift because I need to, if this thing doesn't work out, I want to have something that I can do that could potentially lead to growth, an actual career where I'm not in a position now where I'm unemployed because I have a job versus having a career. It's a big difference.
And I 100% agree with your logic of having another stream of income. But I don't think you should slow down your hustle on what you do with the podcast at all.
I'm with you.
You're saying what I hear is that you're saying, like, in order to be within the industries that we decided to be a part of, what we're saying to ourselves is like, hey, what you're saying is there's a percentage of work ethic, there's a percentage of intelligence, there's a percentage of creativity, there's a percentage of passion, there's a percentage of resources, and there's a percentage of destiny. And if your
Yes.
destiny percentage is not at this level or higher, you really don't have a good chance in making it. That's
Yes.
what you're saying.
Yes.
I agree that there's the different, categories, but I don't think it's so much as a percentage. I think it's more of a, race. I think it's a
Okay.
race of which one is gonna help you the most. You're right. Destiny is always gonna be the one winning because it's the one that we can't control.
Mm-hmm.
If my work ethic is harder and faster than Destiny, it can get me through the door. I think I turned 28 next month. I turned 28. I don't think I've gotten where I'm at by my creativity. I don't think I've gotten to where I'm at by uh, my passion. I think I got into where I'm at by my work ethic. I think for especially since like 22, I've made sure that my work ethic has spoke more than anything else. I've been on set for 12 to 13 hours with an hour of traveling, and then got home and then made sure I got to work on things that I wanted to do, pushing like a 20 to 21 hour day, only to go to sleep for 3 hours and do it all again tomorrow. Like those are things that I've sacrificed to make sure that like my work ethic can eventually catch up to Destiny. Because for a minute there, especially when we were working at the movie theater, oh my god, you remember how miserable I was because I just thought I
I
just thought
do.
Destiny. Yo, Jabaya knew like nobody else, bro. I
I do.
swear. I swear, because I thought maybe Destiny had me. I thought, oh man, this is not. I'm not gonna make it. I'm a small voice. I'm a small man and a small voice in New York City. Who the hell can hear me? Who the hell can hear me on me saying like, oh, I want to be a filmmaker, da 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 da. And now I'm getting to the point where I feel like my voice carries. It carries weight. It carries weight with the experiences and everything that I've done, every sacrifice that I made. Don't get me wrong. There's been some big downs, like huge downs. But there's been a lot of potential for bigger ups, you know. And when I take a W, whether it's lowercase, I make sure it's a capital W, man. I take it and I run with it. I'm like, yeah. Someone said they liked my shit. I run with that. I'm like, yes, I gotta
It's
run
like
with that.
fuel.
That's yeah. It's the only thing I got. You
Yeah.
know.
So maybe I didn't come off the right way when I made my proclamation. I don't really plan on stopping to do what I do, but I do think that in order, for example, if I do go on, which I plan to
Yeah.
pursue my career as a radiology technician, it's going to involve schooling, it's going to involve certain things, and so my something is going to have to take a back seat. Uh, and I don't know, I just don't want to be the person like. So I have a bunch of ideas, right? In my iPhone, in my notes, I have like a folder where I write down ideas of things that I might want to do if I ever get my hands on some money, right? And one of my ideas was to uh, create a show, or produce a show of people who ain't make it,
Hmm.
so that people can see how many people don't make it, even though
Yeah.
they were super talented, even though they work their asses off. I think there's a randomness to life that no one wants to acknowledge or talk about, but it exists, and we all think because of our own arrogance that we are going to be a part of the winning pile, but you may be a loser. And I'm not saying loser as in
Absolutely.
you are a loser. I'm just saying like you're not going to be the Howard Stern. You're not going to be the Charlemagne God. You're not going to be the Joe Rogans,
Stanley
right?
Kubrick, Stanley Kubrick, the
Yeah,
Steven
yeah,
Spielberg, the Ryan Coogler.
exactly.
I get it. Yeah.
You might not even be the second or third tier of that. So you have to then look at your life and
Hmm.
decide what do you want to do, how much are you willing to risk, how much time are you willing to let go by, uh, and that's what I was saying. So as you see it, I've kind of shifted my podcast to more of a Joe Rogan esque thing where I'm like doing like
Yeah.
these little interviews now with people that I think are very interesting. This way I could do a weekly podcast instead of I was doing before, it was like multiple shows a week. They're longer, but I could do them weekly. This way once I go back to school, I have more time to do
Yeah.
what I want to do. And with the interviews, I can kind of do the interviews, whatever, and then release them on a weekly schedule. So it helps me that way. And so, yeah, I'm not stopping what I'm doing. Do I
But I
still
don't
hope?
want it to take. I don't want it to take a backseat either.
Hey, but
I don't want it to take it back. Like I said, I did the 12-hour set days, and then I would go home and make sure that I worked as well. Like I don't let it become a Saturday Sunday thing. I still make sure it's a Monday through Friday thing. I just make sure that I do both. I put other things in the back seat. Like shit, for a while I was putting my health in the back seat, but fuck it. I said fuck it. Let me make sure I'm putting these two things in the, because there's two seats up front. There's the driver and there's the passenger seat. So like just make sure you have room for both. Now don't get me wrong, there's a lot of sacrifices I made, but shit, I'm happy. I'm happy where I'm at now, more than when I was at the damn movie theater.
Field. You know what it is? Maybe if I was making some money from this, right? And now I have shifted into like, for example, I've looked into, maybe being like a podcast editor or producing other people's stuff, right? But once again, if I was making money from anything close to what I'm doing, maybe I would have more, I don't know if the word is confidence or faith, but the fact that I'm not, once again, this is a money loser. And I just need to find ways to generate income. And so having an actual career would make me feel a lot more stable. Maybe that's what it is. That maybe as I inch towards 30, I'm looking for like stability.
Of course.
That makes sense. I don't know. I sound like a middle-aged woman, but that's what I'm looking for.
You sound like that woman that turned me down because I wasn't financially stable.